We're standing at a pivotal moment in human history, a moment that is going to redefine what it means to grow up, to work, to grow old, and yeah, ultimately, what it means to be human. And look, this isn't hyperbole. It really isn't. This is the conclusion of a deep, augmented analysis by the Expo Intelligence Research Team. We are living through the dawn of what we are calling the longevity revolution. So the question, it's really no longer if we will live longer lives. The question now is whether we will live better lives. And whether our societies can adapt to support human flourishing across a dramatically extended lifespan. Welcome to the Expo Intelligence Podcast. Today, we're unpacking one of the greatest and most complex transformations our species will ever face. It begins with a pretty simple demographic reality. As of 2026, the global population of people aged 60 and above, it's reached 1.4 billion. That number is projected to nearly double by 2050. At the exact same time, birth rates have fallen below the replacement level in more than half of the world's countries. So, an aging world with a shrinking workforce to support it. That sounds like the blueprint for a crisis, right? And in many ways, it is. But it's only half of an extraordinary story. Colliding with this demographic wave is a technological revolution, one that was, until very recently, just the stuff of pure science fiction. Let's start with life extension science. The most promising field is something called Senolytics. These are therapies that hunt down and eliminate senescent or zombie cells. Basically, these are cells that stop dividing but refuse to die, and instead they pump out a cocktail of inflammatory signals that drive the pathologies of aging. In staggering new clinical trials, these therapies have been shown to actually reverse biological age, as measured by DNA methylation, by an average of 15 years. Just let that sink in for a moment. Not just slowing aging, we're talking about reversing it at a cellular level. And this is just one front. Artificial intelligence can now detect the earliest signs of Alzheimer's disease with over 85% accuracy from a simple retinal scan, or even from the patterns in your speech, years before the first devastating symptoms would ever appear. This just opens a window for intervention we've never, ever had before. Look at Japan and South Korea. They have over 1 million robotic caregivers already deployed in homes and care facilities. And they aren't replacing human nurses. No, they are augmenting them. They're handling the physically demanding lifting and the repetitive 24/7 monitoring. And this frees up human caregivers to focus on what they do best: empathy, human connection, and that complex, compassionate care. And maybe the most revolutionary development of all is in bioprinting. In 2025, researchers created the first lab-grown heart and liver organoids, and these were complete with their own intricate blood vessel networks. So solving the global organ shortage is no longer some distant dream. It's a tangible engineering problem that is being solved, piece by piece, right now. So, we have this incredible promise, right? A future of longer, healthier life. But, and this is a big but, this promise is crashing directly into social and economic systems that are fundamentally unprepared for it. Our healthcare infrastructure is at a breaking point. It was designed for the 20th century to fight acute infectious diseases. It is structurally incapable of handling the coming tsunami of chronic, age-related conditions. Japan, which is a forerunner in this, is already facing a shortfall of nearly 400,000 care workers. This leads to what is, it's perhaps the most pressing danger we identified in our research: the longevity divide, a two-tier society defined by who can afford to live long and well. Think about it. Senolytic therapies, they currently cost between $150,000 and $50,000 a year. A sophisticated robotic caregiver, that can cost $50,000 per unit. And when lab-grown organs become a clinical reality, their initial price tag will likely be in the millions. Without a radical and proactive rethinking of access, we are heading towards a future where the wealthy can purchase another 20, 30, or 40 years of healthy life, while everyone else is left behind to face an accelerated decline. Seriously, This isn't just an economic issue. It is a fundamental threat to our social contract and our political stability. This strain is also tearing at the intergenerational bond, that implicit agreement that the young support the old. Younger generations are facing higher taxes, unaffordable housing, precarious job markets, all while being asked to support a rapidly growing elderly population. And the political discourse is already shifting dangerously, framing generations as competitors for scarce resources. So, what do we do? Are we doomed to this future of systemic crisis, inequality, and conflict? Our research concludes with a clear no, but it also concludes that the window for high-impact, low-cost action is closing, and it's closing fast. The analysis reveals 4 interconnected pillars of transformation. It's a kind of roadmap to navigate this revolution wisely and build a better future. First is prevention-first healthcare. Emphatic, this is the single highest leverage intervention we have. We have to shift our focus, our research, our budgets from merely treating disease to actively preventing it. Every dollar invested in prevention yields an estimated $8 in future savings. The vision is to redirect 40% of healthcare budgets to prevention by 2035, with the goal of extending average health span, our years of healthy life, by over a decade. Second is connectivity infrastructure. In a world this complex and fast-moving, network effects just trump individual brilliance. We need open-source medical AI platforms, global knowledge-sharing networks, fully interoperable data systems, so when a researcher in Galway makes a breakthrough in bioprinting, a clinician in Singapore should be able to learn from it and apply it almost instantly. Third is adaptive governance. Our rigid, slow-moving regulatory systems, they were built for a different era. They just can't keep pace. We need new models of governance that can learn and adapt in real time, working with innovators to balance progress with safety and connecting local needs with global policy. And finally, Pillar 4, intergenerational solidarity. We must fundamentally redesign our society to stop seeing generations as competitors. This means creating lifelong contribution models with flexible retirement, building intergenerational housing and communities, and finally, placing real economic value on the unpaid labor of caregiving. We need to build systems that transfer wisdom from elders to youth and technological fluency from youth to elders. When these 4 pillars work together, they create a powerful, virtuous cycle. Prevention leads to better health and massive cost savings, which in turn funds more prevention. Connectivity accelerates innovation for all. Adaptive governance ensures new tech is deployed safely and equitably, and intergenerational solidarity ensures the benefits of a longer life are shared by everyone. This is the clear alternative to that vicious cycle of demographic decline, economic strain, and social conflict. But here is the most urgent finding from our research. Timing is everything. The next decade, from now until 2035, represents a critical one-time window of opportunity. Interventions made now are relatively low cost and incredibly high impact. If we wait until the crisis peaks in the 40s and 50s, our analysis shows that the very same interventions will be up to 5 times more expensive and 60 to 80% less effective. We simply cannot afford to wait. The longevity revolution is here. It challenges us to redefine success itself, to move beyond outdated measures like GDP to new metrics that capture well-being, health span, purpose, and connection. It forces us to be intentional, ensuring that technology augments our humanity rather than replacing it. The choice is ours, a future of extended well-being and shared prosperity, or one of inequality, alienation, and managed decline.
If you found this analysis valuable, please help us spread the word. Like, share, and subscribe to the XFO Intelligence Podcast channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you deep, data-driven insights on the critical transformations shaping our world. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. In a world where a 100-year lifespan is common, what does a truly successful life look like?